Well, what's up, gang? It's Stu Wetstein with Recruiter Confidential, and congratulations. We've made it to bonus video number 7 in the 7 strategies for getting the offer in 2013. First of which, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to be able to hang out with you during these 7 steps. And if you've watched all the videos, I'm really appreciative, and I hope you've picked up, some cool tips that you can use in your job interviewing tomorrow or a month from now, or whenever, you're going to be taking that next step in your career. So let's talk about the last step or the last strategy. And I have one word up there: gratitude. Now, you might think, okay, this is going to be the section about writing thank you notes or something. I got it, Stu. I should be grateful to people. I got it. That's a given. And by the way, let me just give you a little hint with that. If you're just sending a thank you email these days after you finish an interview, that's assumed, right? If you're not doing that, these days it's really hard to stand out. But do something to take it to the next level. Whether you write a handwritten thank you, some hiring managers will say, oh, no, I don't like getting stuff in the mail, but send something through FedEx, send something priority, maybe send, some kind of cool piece of, chocolate or something, a gift certificate along with it, the appropriate bribe. But you want to show that you were appreciative of them taking the time to bring you in. And then let's use that as a segue to really talk about gratitude. One of the things that I see getting in the way of so many candidates, in the face-to-face interviews is, yes, you may work with a recruiter. Yes, you may be gainfully employed. You may be doing something and you may be really good at it. But if you've gone in for a job interview, there's an expectation that you're appreciative of the hiring manager's time or the human resources professional's time. And I want you to show that, because I think too many people overlook that. So I think a great way to begin any interview, when you're getting into owning that first 90 seconds of the interview, is to say, hey, I want to say thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the opportunity to come in. This is really exciting. I've enjoyed meeting everybody and part of the process. So that's one piece of gratitude. Second piece is to not overlook the other people who are part of the process of you getting to a job interview. Especially if you're going through a big company, you may encounter different levels of human resources professionals as you're getting your application submitted, as they're scheduling the interview. You may be working with a hiring manager's assistant or someone who works directly with them who's setting up that round of interviews. Make sure in each step of the process you're expressing gratitude for that person's time, because you'd be really surprised. I have seen amazing candidates with really cool resumes and who make a lot of money get derailed as part of the process because the reality is they weren't cool to the receptionist, or they weren't cool to the car service driver who came and picked them up. And then there are a lot of painful stories. As I always say, the stories that I use, the examples I use, are too painful for me to make them up. So remember, every part of the process, because everybody gets asked these days, what'd you think of so-and-so? You know what, I met them, I thought they were kind of cool, but I thought, they maybe weren't the right fit for our culture for one reason or another. It all counts. So be genuine, but make sure you're engaging. Okay, last thought on gratitude. And this is really what I think kind of takes you to the next level. Find some way, especially if you're going through a job transition right now. I think there can be nothing more debilitating than a job search where that is all you're doing. If you're 60 hours a week, sending out resumes, going on interviews, trying to network, I applaud that effort, but don't let that be the only thing you do. And we've talked about that in some of the other steps. But I want to take that to the next level. I want to, as much as I can, insist that if you really want to make a shift, if you really want to make a transition, if you really want to get a little perspective, take an hour a week, take an hour every other week, and volunteer your time. Be of service somewhere. If you're having trouble, if you're a really good professional and you've been to college and you're well educated, but you're just having trouble finding the right next fit, I guarantee you there is someone who is in a much worse situation than you out there that you could work with, that you could counsel, that you could be a mentor to. Look in your community. There are a lot of people impacted by this economy, and there are a lot of opportunities to serve. That perspective not only will help you appreciate, maybe be a little bit more grateful for whatever your situation is. And I know there are a lot of people who have been through some challenging things, and so have I at different points in my life, so I understand. But I don't want that to be your defining part of your story. And I want you to be grateful for where you're at. And if you're going in for an interview, the reality is they don't invite everybody in for the interview anymore. That's not how it works. There are things through each step of the process to be grateful for. And as you apply that to your life, and you apply that to taking a little bit of time for service and to have a little bit of perspective, however all of this works, I believe that karma, the universe, whatever label you may want to put on it, it'll come back, and it'll come back tenfold. And you don't have to take my word for it. Go out and try it. It'll be the thing that makes the difference, especially if you've got some challenging things going on right now. Best thing that I can recommend from personal experience is be of service, help someone else. It'll take the attention off yourself, and it'll get you to that next step. So those are the 7 strategies. I really appreciate your time, and more importantly, I appreciate you taking time to invest in your own career and taking your job interviewing to the next level. So until we meet again, I want to encourage you to get out there and go get them. But listen, don't tell anybody I told you this stuff, okay? Keep it between us.